Do we want to discuss the video that kind of went crazy a little bit this week?
I mean, for us, it did well.
Yeah. I mean,
the what was it? The secret layer across the multiverse.
Yeah, that was got a lot of discussion. Bearscape, for some reason, is really
Bearscape gets people a little aroused.
I don't know. There was a lot of people that I wouldn't say a lot. I'd say there is, I think, out of the like 50 some comments that were on YouTube, there was 2 that were negative about it. Saying
two people, yeah.
2 people. And it was basically going off of, this is sexualizing wizards, or how dare they, you know, there's a kid's game and all this stuff. And it's like, well, I started to argue back a little bit. I just did one comment, and then I kind of was like, nope, I'm not going to get into in depth with this. We'll just talk about it on the podcast. That's how I do it.
It's make it one-sided.
Right. You can't fire back at me.
That's how that works.
My point was, this is a secret layer, and a majority of Magic players don't know about secret layer. Yes, a lot of people do, but that is this is a very small sliver of people that actually know about secret layer. Most people are casual kitchen table Magic players, especially the Commander players, and they don't even know that these exist. And even that,
let's give perspective, right? There is an estimated 12 to 15 million people that buy Magic product. That's what they estimate, right? At least around the world. And the biggest content creators only have like a couple million.
Yeah.
Like 1 to 3 million people that
less
follow
than
them on YouTube,
1% of the population of Magic.
And so even though everybody that you know knows about it, there's just fucking people just buying random ass packs that just kind of play kitchen. That's the biggest market right there. Just the random ass people buying shit and slapping stuff together. And so,
I mean, we were that way until we started making a podcast.
No.
Well, we knew a little bit more. We were actually watching like Command Zone, and I listened to CCO at that point and all the other podcasts like that.
I would say once they started making the actual Commander product was when
we started,
things became a little bit more like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is concentrating and stuff like that. But so like the main person that was
upset
doesn't really know what a bear is. Let's make this clear right now. Like, a bear is like, if I was gay, I'd be a bear.
Yes,
it's not bigger, me looking for hairy sex or sexual favors,
it's a body type and hair. Like, look at
personality type. It's just kind of
cuddly and just super nice. And well, unless you turn on Larry's grizzly bear, you don't want to see Larry's grizzly bear. That's the mean bear.
and so like, if you're offended by that, it's kind of like an equivalent. Like, if you're offended, you obviously think you're an alpha male. That's essentially equivalent. You're calling yourself that, but you're in that type of stratosphere of where you are socially and internet wise, and bears are, way over there in the gay community. And that's all it is. It's just a term that is kind of used for a certain type of people in that certain type of community.
Right.
And honestly, like, my nickname in college, I was Lowery Bear.
Yes.
To a couple of gals. Wink.
Oh.
But that was just because I was a big dude that got drunk and slept on couches like Winnie the Pooh. And so
what? That's what Winnie the Pooh does? I didn't realize that.
He
had too much honey.
He eats honey and and so, like, look, this is a game based on, fantasy tropes, and what's a better fantasy than Bearscape in that art, right?
That art is amazing. It's funny as hell.
Come on. So, I mean, like, if you're worried about
what do you want me to come on?
Okay. Let's be honest about it too. This could get people mad at me because this is something that we talked about beforehand. When I initially saw it, and for a little bit, I was uncomfortable with it because it was
that you're under the impression that they're naked under that water. Your
yeah,
imagination
it felt like there was yeah, exactly. That's my mind
all
going
Lowery
off.
can think about is dudes dongs underwater there. He's like, man.
And so I went and took a bath and looked down. I was like,
that's why you're uncomfortable, because you're like, it's not much there.
It's nothing to be jealous of. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's fucking. But the thing is you sit back and like, I understand I don't have in real life gay friends. I don't, the only stuff that I watch is like fucking superhero shows and movies.
Nerd.
Like it's not normal for me to see that kind of stuff. And so like right off the bat, it's weird and different. Maybe, weird's maybe not the word, but it's different. It's not something that I'm used to. And then I have that I have that reaction.
Your porn selection needs to expand a bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. It's very.
It's missionary.
Why the and?
So my appetites get filled, and I'm like, okay, well, let's dabble in some other things. Okay, so
no. I'm not quite done there. It's
a fucking bug just flew down my shirt. Damn it!
See, it thinks you're a bear. Wink.
No.
So, but like, you have to sit back and go, okay, it's that self-reflection part. Why did I feel that way? And I'm kind of telling you, it's not normal for me. I'm not in that culture.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, this was happening on that discussion on the comments, but there's violence in this game. There are sexualized.
There's heterosexual things in it.
There's plenty of heterosexual things that I don't blink at.
Yeah.
And so those things like that's the thing that you want to talk about, like equality, representation. And this is a specific thing for representation for gay people in this game. Yeah. The game is not only for me. They want to and should invite as many people into this game as possible.
Yeah.
That's what they should be doing. They're huge. And that should be accepting. And every other card was pretty tame. And also like think about like the extra turn one where two guys are kissing or whatever. Like that didn't cause the ruckus. It was definitely Bearscape. It was something about Bearscape that made people uncomfortable and or aroused. And so
I think that's oh man, this is gonna go.
It's sexual repression.
It's that when you have those senators that are like super like anti-gay, and then they're the ones that get busted with the
projection.
A gay. I'm not saying that the guy that was mad about it, but maybe he was more mad that he was getting an erection when he saw this, and so that's why he was more pissed. And he doubled down.
Yeah, I mean, if you're upset about it, reflect, think about your own situation, and it's okay. It's a fucking game. It's one card. Like Adam's saying, it's not going to be out there a whole ton. You're not going to see it.
Yeah.
Unless you or your play group buys it.
And that's where my point wanted to come in, is like, I don't have a problem with this at all. Like I had, it's funny to me. Like it's just funny. Yeah. Like we don't have anything like this. It's kind of cool. I was more pointing out to the guy, like, the secret layer part of this. If you have a problem with it, I'm guessing you're not going to buy it. First off, don't buy it. There, that solves the problem. Yep. If you have a problem with it, I'm guessing your play group would probably have a problem with it, and they probably won't buy it either. So you're never going to see it. Like they're really like, how are you going to like this card? And that was some of the arguments that was happening that I saw, not even just on the YouTube thing, but on Twitter and stuff, is like the people that were against it were like, our kids are going to see this and it's going to do this and this and that to them. And I'm like, what the hell? Like these kids are already looking at people getting killed in the game and all this stuff. And you're concerned with this. Like there isn't dongs here. You can imagine there is, but
Only if you want to.
There's two guys basically about to be kissing. There's another guy caressing, and then there's another guy just enjoying the hot tub. Like, what's wrong with that?
Literally do what you do daily to your kids. If this is an issue for you, just lie to them. Just say that it's a European hot spa. Like, just a bunch. That happened. If you haven't been to Europe, they have spas all, just like natural springs.
Or
all over the place. And
they're naked. Have your kids seen Lord of the Rings? Remember what the dwarves said? The dwarves, you can barely tell between the men and the women. Just say that this is a girl that's in there, and that's what it is. It's from Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I mean, if you really are concerned about it. But at that point, I also was going to make the argument that Magic is a complex game. It isn't for little kids.
No.
Like, I'm not even attempting to show my boys how to play it. They like to see us when we're playing. I don't even want to go through the concepts of it. That is a very advanced thing to learn this game. Yeah. If you understand how to play this game, you get what the world is. You know what's out there, and it shouldn't be a big scare to you that, holy crap, there's people that like same sexes. Oh my gosh. Like, who cares?
Literally, like, if your kid's old enough to be playing Magic and, that 13 plus range, you should be able to have a conversation about that. At 13, puberty's starting. Like, if you're afraid to talk to your kids about anything about sex or sexuality or what they're going through, you're not doing your job.
Just check their dirty laundry. Guarantee there's a lot of rock hard stuff in there.
Gross. Yeah, if you're worried, they must have slipped in a mud puddle. It is stiff, liquidy.
Why is it so crusty? I know from experience. My T-shirt, my brother, that Ibukaki said that he was going to do that to my T-shirts when he slept over. I haven't found a T-shirt he said he did it to.
Not yet.
He said he hid it somewhere. Well, my mom was in that room after he left, so maybe she found it. Anyways, I don't know. Is there any more with it? I think Secret Lair stuff is totally fine to go out on a limb and do these crazy things. It's not this isn't crazy, but you probably wouldn't see this in a standard rotation, set. You won't see any of the Secret Lair stuff where it's unique, but that's the cool thing. It's a collector thing. It's unique. Yes. It's different. If you don't like it, don't buy it because you're probably never going to see it. It just doesn't get out. There isn't that many that hit the circulation. Even the most, taking your stats, how many million people play Magic?
I think it was 12 to 15 million.
Okay.
Approximate,
Take that, and the most sold Secret Lair to date is the Phyrexian Praetors, right?
Yep.
That sold, I believe it was with the foils and the non-foils around 80,000. It didn't even hit 1 million. You don't even have a percent.
It didn't even hit 100,000.
Yeah. So that's isn't even going to be that's the most sold one. And that wasn't even 1% of the Magic population.
Yeah.
You're not going to see this card. If you don't like it and your play group is similar views,
you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
The kids will be okay.
But on a side note, have a little bit of acceptance with things. It's not, bear is not what you think bear means.
Yep.
Check out Wikipedia. There's a Google for you there, buddy.
If people keep on telling you that's not what it means and you just stick with it, you're very wrong.
Yeah. Especially if there were some people that were it seemed like they were that type, and he's like, no, you are wrong. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure this person's a bear, and you're telling him that's not what a bear is. I'm like, all right, whatever. All right.
People are funny. People are.
We probably, creatures. If that guy subscribed to us, he probably is. We'll see the unsubscribe later once this
we'll see.
out.